Welcome, my friend. Today's video is a little bit different from what you're used to seeing on our channel. One of the leading balloon manufacturers, Tuftex Balloons, recently hosted a balloon conference and we were invited as instructors. Yay! That was super exciting. It was such a beautiful experience to get to meet in person so many people who've supported our business for a long time. It was just amazing. This setup you see right now was from one of the classes we facilitated during the event, and we recreated it for the final night. On that same night, we took the time to ask some very powerful questions to some of the instructors, and this is what the video is about. They shared their own experience dealing with difficult times, challenging decisions, growing their businesses, and a lot more, so be sure to stay until the end. And please be patient with the sound quality. The music was very loud and the sound was heavily impacted when we removed the background noise. Okay, enjoy it! So we're here with Carolina Balloons, and I just have one question for them. Was there ever a time in your journey where you felt like throwing the towel, like you were like this was not for you, you just wanted to give up?
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
That would be March 13th, 2020, when our world shut down. It was really scary because as a balloon family, all of our immediate families reliant on the balloon business. And literally within 72 hours, we had so many jobs canceled. And I was so fearful that everything was going to change and we weren't going to reboot and come back. And I was done. I was like, we're all getting jobs at Amazon. I can't handle this stress anymore. And then we have come back stronger and better than ever.
What was that like? How did you bounce back? Like, how do you snap out of that situation?
Well, during the pandemic, we had a lot of free time to like really sit back and be like, okay, well, this is the time to work on the things that we were too busy to work on. So that
Rebranded.
we changed our website. We got a business coach.
We worked on marketing. We completely rebranded, rebuilt the website, new logo, new everything. So we got out of this. We were coming with a fresher face. And then we have such a huge clientele that is unbelievably loyal. And the second they were able to use us again, they were there. And they used us for outdoor drive-through events at first, even corporate. Like, we're having something small. I know it's not our normal thing. Can you come and do something? And I was like, girl, I was getting out for $100. What we need, I'm ready. And they slowly started coming back. And then there was such a shift where they were coming back bigger and better than they've ever done. They were so excited to celebrate again that old budgets were out the door. They were ready to really explode it. And there was a lot of turnover in like different contracts and positions in different places. And we were very successful and really good before the pandemic. After a year of stress and focusing and coming up with really serious business plans and goals and changing things that had become like bad habits or natural for our business because it was our life, we were able to come back so hard and so unbelievably strong. In 2021, 2022 was insane, and 2023 has been beyond insane.
What would you guys say to that person, to that balloon artist that's starting or that feel that is struggling and scaling their business? What do you tell them right now?
Do not undervalue yourself or your work. Work to be the best you can be, always, and don't settle for less. You really have to have a business. If you want to do it as a hobby and it not be a profitable thing, that's fine, it's fun. But if you want to know how to make money and work hard and really support your entire family at this, my husband works for us. He doesn't have his job anymore. I mean, you have to make decisions in your life of how hard you're going to work and what it's worth for you to have that life. With balloons, it's crazy. My family has survived almost 40 years all of balloons.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
3 households right now, balloons. Like, that's nuts.
That's amazing, ladies. Thank you very much for your time. This turn is for Lily from the Creative Hair Studio. Lily, please let us know, has there ever been a time in your journey where you felt like giving up, like you just want to throw in the towel?
Yes, of course. Like
What
everybody.
was that moment like?
I felt super burnt out and ready to give up and just, put it all away and move forward. But luckily, I have a great support system, and my husband, suggested just scale back a little bit, restructure, do the things you really love, and then delegate everything else. So I did, and I've been working through that, and it worked. It feels better.
The way that you got out of that was just like trying to think about the things that you enjoy doing more in your business and just try to delegate the rest. Was that like as simple as, was that helpful in like the decision?
It's definitely helpful. It's not simple. It's hard because I like to make sure that I control as much as possible as a creative, but there's only so much. Also, trying to separate myself from what I think people are expecting from me versus what I can honestly, wholeheartedly give 100%. And I needed to make that distinction. And when I did, and rescheduled my content creation, it gave me a breath of air and I felt creative again because I was feeling completely burnt out.
That's amazing. What would you tell somebody that is in that position right now? Like new entrepreneurs or people that has been doing it for a long time or for quite some time, but they feel that they struggle, they feel stuck, and they can seem to find a way out.
I think, first of all, I think that's incredibly normal as an entrepreneur. And two, I think it's the first sign of burnout. So the minute that happens, you have to look within your business and see what needs to change. Because at that point, something has to change because it's not working.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time, Lily.
Thank you.
Wish you all the best.
You too.
Now the turn is for Lamar from La Marvelous Balloons. Have you ever been in a situation, or has there ever been a situation in your journey where you felt like you were stuck, like you wanted to give up, like you didn't want to do balloons anymore? What was that moment like?
Yeah, so I remember there was a point in time where I felt like I was being overworked and I wasn't charging enough. And I felt like, what am I going to do? Like, I don't want to work with anybody anymore because I feel like I'm being overworked. I'm not making enough for my product. And I just said, I don't want to do this anymore, right? But after going to my first convention in 2019 and rubbing elbows with a few other balloon professionals and seeing other processes and how other people do things, I received a ton of motivation and encouragement to just keep on pushing. So it was a little tough, right? My first client base, very nitpicky on budget. Then I went back, rearranged some pricing, came back and changed my entire target and niche. And from there, now we have about 85% of corporate clients that are within our portfolio. So I kept pushing it regardless of how I felt. Now we have a sustainable business that has sustainable profit margins, and we just have a business that's continuously growing.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for sharing. What would you tell somebody that is in that position, somebody that's starting their business and they feel like they're not getting any traction, or somebody that's been doing it for a long time but they don't know how to scale?
Yeah. Well, first, and we talked about this in my class, the first way to overcome something is first acknowledging it, right? So write it down, acknowledge that you have an issue, and then from there you can take that step forward to become better, right? So invest in yourself. Go to conventions, go to conferences. You may think you know everything, you actually don't. So actually take that time, go invest in yourself and go run with other people, figure out some different processes and stay motivated and keep it going, guys. I mean, we're in a market that's happy. It's full of happy people. We work with happy elements, and you kind of have to implement that into your business. So keep it pushing. Don't give up.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Now we are with Tiffany from Confetti Castle, and Tiffany, you've done an amazing work at the Tuftex Experience, and I know you've been in business for 4 years now, you said. So there must have been a time where you were in a situation that you had to make a scary decision or a very difficult situation. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So when I first started, I was working out of my apartment, and within 1 month, I had to outgrow it. Then I went to a shared warehouse space. I did not know how I was going to pay for it, and I just said to myself, it's going to work out. And then within 1 year, I had to get my own space, and now it's just coming. It was such a scary decision to jump the cliff, but if I didn't do it, I wouldn't be where I was right now.
So it worked out that good for you.
Oh yes. Oh yes. Because failure was not an option. It wasn't an option.
That's the mentality. Failure is not an option. Thank you very much, Tiffany. What would you tell somebody that is in that position, that they don't know what to do? They have a gut feeling that they have to take a leap of faith for their business to scale, but they are so paralyzed right now with fear.
You're never going to know until you try it. So you're only going to fail if you don't try. Just like they say, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So if you're on the fence and thinking about it, my only advice is don't sign a 5-year lease. Negotiate for a smaller, shorter lease, because then it's not as much of a risk. But with no risk, there's no reward.
Thank you so much for your time, Tiffany. It has been a pleasure meeting you and seeing you work in person.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the turn is for Allison, and she is the queen of Tuftex. We've been having a great time of the Tuftex experience, but now I want to ask her, because she didn't have any background in the balloon industry at all. What was that transition like from what you were doing before to acquiring Tuftex and getting it to the level that it is today?
I think that the transition was very hard for me at the beginning because I was very uncertain. I would come to events like this and I didn't know anyone. I didn't know anything about balloons. I didn't know anything about products. I didn't know about vendors, distributors, anything. And what I think at some point I found my groove, which was one little part of it, which was starting to make colors. And in the grand scheme of things, it was really important, but it also was just one little piece to that pie. And once I got that piece, it was really important just kind of grabbing something, like holding on to it and saying, this is mine, I'm gonna try it, I'm gonna go out on that, kind of take a risk, go out on that ledge. And I think that's, it was really scary. So I'm not normally a big risk taker. So that was kind of how it was for me. And I got lucky. I got so lucky. I work hard. When you work hard, your chances are better, I think.
What I see, the way I see Tuftex is Tuftex saw a gap in the industry. They came and she came in 2017 and she saw all the same colors, and then one day she said, but why are we missing all these nice colors? And she just monetized that to the point that she scaled Tuftex to what it is today. And I can't be any happier just to be part of this experience. Thank you very much, Allison. What would you tell somebody, or what would you tell all the balloon industry right now that what we're watching this video, that when they feel frustrated and they feel like they don't know how to scale their business, and I know it's not the same type of business, but what will be the message from your experience?
I think for me, the most important thing was finding confidence in myself, because before that, I relied on other people for kind of my praise. And at some point, when I went out on that ledge and just said, let's make some crazy, weird colors that nobody's seen, it was just like giving in to what I wanted and finding that confidence in myself. And I think once you do that, it's just that first step, and everything else just gets a little bit easier each step you take.
Thank you so much, Allison.
Thank you, guys.
The turn is for the loons, Dolly and Eddie. Dolly, has there been a time in your journey that you felt stuck at some point, or has there been a very scary moment that you were like, okay, I don't even know what to do right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So I obviously quit my job less than 2 years ago to do this full time. And that was the scariest moment of this whole journey, because I was leaving something that was very secure, that was certain, that had benefits and all these different things, to impart in an adventure that I had no clue that was going to work. So that was terrifying, for sure.
What was that moment like as the husband supporting her in the business?
Well, to me, I saw that the business was working. I know that things were going well, so it was a matter of supporting her. It was scary because we were leaving something really secure to something that we didn't know if it was going to continue to work, but we did make sure that we worked extra hard. And I supported her decision of leaving her job because I knew if we put in the effort, it could work out.
Yeah. Thank you.
I think at that time too, he became more full time in the business. He was like, okay, so you're actually really serious about this. Let me help you more.
Yeah.
So that was like a turning point in our business as well.
Was there anything in particular that you had to do to bring him on board, like to convince him?
Yeah.
Like how was that like?
Yes, girl. I had to show him the money. That's what I had to do. I had to be like, hey, this is going to be a profitable business. And he was like, oh, okay, let's try it. Otherwise,
Money.
yeah.
Money talks, baby.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, guys. Now, what would you tell somebody that is in the same position as you were when you had that scary moment?
So I would say, like, definitely think about it, right? Think hard and make sure that you have security in what you're doing, but take the leap of faith and bet on yourself, because if you don't, then who will, you know? We live in a world that's so scary already, and it's like there's no time to be wasted. Like, you don't never know what's gonna happen, so just think about it for sure. It's a hard decision, but definitely take the leap.
You have to believe in yourself.
You said something off camera that really caught my attention. And you said, if you have a proven business, what was proven to you? Like a certain amount of money?
I think it was a certain quantity of work.
Consistency of like workflow.
Yeah.
You
It
know?
wasn't like, oh, I got one big job, two big jobs in a month. It was that I was consistently getting those kinds of jobs that really helped me make that decision.
Amazing. Thank you very much, WeBalloonz, for your time. It was great meeting you in person.
Thank you.
And this time we are with the spectacular bubblegum balloons. These ladies have been our inspiration for the last 6 years, so it's just an honor to have them with me today. Just a question for you, ladies. How have you managed and how have you handled the relationship between the three of you to run a business? Has that ever been a struggle, or have you find that to be the strength of the business?
Yeah, we found that to be the strength, definitely. And we play to our individual strengths to make ourselves work together as a team. So I think the three of us each bring our part to it, and we all play to our individual strengths. And we quickly learned that if we defined our roles, we knew which areas of the business we were looking after. We stayed in our lanes and we worked alongside each other. We could create more momentum than we could on our own. So that was the strength of the business, and still is the strength of the business.
Has there ever been a challenging situation, like with your friendship being at risk because of the business?
No,
Never,
I
don't think so. It's always, we've been friends for years, so I think that we do still do social things together as well. Our kids are friends. We still have a life outside of work together, and I think we have just remained strong friends. If there is ever any difficulties at all, we just talk. We're quite open and honest, generally on the whole, and we're able to kind of get through things. So yeah, it doesn't cause problems.
That's great. That's great. What would you tell the young generations of balloon artists that are trying to scale their businesses, and it's just a hard start? Like, it's been hard for them. They feel stuck. What do you remember from 10 years ago? And congratulations on your anniversary, by the way. So how do you, like, what would you tell all those new balloon artists?
Wow.
Processes,
yeah.
Right.
Make sure, that the
Yeah.
processes are there so that you are as slick as you can be. So you're not making the silly mistakes that you forget the tails on a job, you forget the decals on the job, you forget little things. If you've got the processes in place, it becomes slicker, becomes leaner, therefore making you more money.
And enabling you to hand a little bit of it over to somebody else. You know, if the processes are in there, someone else can follow those processes, and you can therefore do more because you've got more people doing the same thing. So, yeah.
What was the first process that you guys implemented in your business?
The stock management system.
Yeah.
Must have been.
Yeah.
That
So that
drove
we
so many
understood what we
processes.
had.
The stock management system pushed so
You
many.
guys talk about it being inventory. You guys do
Yeah.
inventory. We have like a system that does that
But
for
that's
us.
order processing.
Yeah, we use LimWorks. It's a stock management system, and we know exactly how many balloons are in the building at any given point in time. It's just their live rating, so it works. Yeah, it's good.
That's amazing. Thank you very much. It has been a pleasure meeting you and seeing you work.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I hope you enjoyed this video, and please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It really goes a long way. And here's what I take from this video. If you're just starting, it will get hard at some point. There will be scary and stressful situations, low months, you will feel overworked and underpaid, and that's okay. Just take the time to evaluate what's working and to acknowledge what's not. Double down on your zone of genius and never stop learning, investing in yourself, and don't be afraid to try new and better ways for your business to grow. Take that first step and you will gain the confidence to take the next one and the next one. Remember this, in your business and in life, your success is inevitable. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.